Good morning, guys. So today we're going to make some sweet rice dumplings and I'm going to show you how to make it. This is very traditional. We call it Kozhukatta, which is like the traditional name for the rice dumplings. So I'm going to just show you how I make them at home. So I'm going to use 1 cup of rice flour. So that goes right in there. A pinch of salt. Next is a flavouring. So I flavour these rice dumplings with a tablespoon of cumin. So give it a little stir. Next I'm going to add water. So I'm going to tell you how much water I'm going to add for 1 cup of flour. Water has to be boiling water. It has to, because you want this rice to literally cook in that boiling water. You're not going to boil it, you're just literally adding the boiled water, and that will make it into a nice dough, and I'll show you how. So normally I literally just eyeball it, but I'm going to use a measuring cup so it's easy for you all to understand. So that's 1 cup there. I'm going to add that. I've just added about 3/4 of it. I'm going to stir and see if I need any more. Yeah, I definitely need more. So that's 1 cup of water. I would need more than this. So basically I'm going to try and make a dough out of this. So that's half of that. That's 1.5 cup of boiling water. Give it a stir before you add any more water, just to make sure it's not too wet, because otherwise you won't be able to make a dough out of it. You'll have to add more rice. So keep stirring. It's come to a nice, like a crumble consistency, but I need more. I need it to be more wet, so I'm going to add more water. Okay, let's see now. So for 1 cup of flour, I've added 2 cups of hot water. Give it a stir and we'll see. So you can see that it's clumping together. So that's what we need. We need it to be clumped. I can literally, if I press, they are holding together. So that is a good consistency. Now, what we do next is very important as well. So basically, I've added 2 cups of water to 1 cup of rice flour, a bit of cumin, a bit of salt, and now I want this rice to basically cook in the steam of the water. So you see the steam coming, so I don't want to lose any of that. I'm going to get it lit and I'm going to cover this up now. There we are. We're going to cover this up. We're going to leave it to rest now. We're going to leave it for minimum 10 minutes. So it'll help the water to cool down. I want the rice flour to absorb all that steam, which will make it more soft, and it will be very tasty as well, because when you steam it after, because this is how dumplings are made. Later on I'll be steaming them. I'm making a sweet version. You can make a savory version. If I find a recipe for that, I'll let you know. So I will show you. I'm going to leave this to a side, leave it for 10 minutes, and I'm going to show you what my sweet dumpling is filled up. So we move that away. So for the sweet version, I'm going to use some jaggery. So jaggery is basically unrefined raw form of cane sugar. So we got some jaggery here. You can get palm jaggery, sugar cane. I really like this version, which is nice and brown, which shows that the molasses and everything is in there, and it's got a very earthy sweetness to it, which complements you know, many of the South Indian desserts. So we'll use that. I've got some frozen grated coconut. We can buy it from Indian stores. You can use desiccated coconut, which is mostly available in many of the supermarkets. You can use that. You can have fresh coconut, you know, if you are interested in that. Sometimes when you don't have time for that, so you know, it's no problem in using this. The only thing is I got to defrost it now, so I basically I show you now as well. I'll just put it in the microwave for literally 30 seconds and it'll defrost my coconut for me. Now, there's an additional flavor that I would like to add, and I'll show you guys now. So that is my trusty cardamom. Now, this cardamom is from home, and I had bought it when I last visited India. So it's very flavorful. The moment I open the lid, it's quite flavorful. So that's the 3 cardamom pods. I don't think I need any more. I like to lightly crush these. I do not waste the cardamom, the leaves of the cardamom pod. I like to use them as well. I feel this flavor to that. Different people have, you know, some people like to crush this cardamom with sugar and they make cardamom powder. You can use that as well. I kind of like the rustic look to it, so we'll do that now. To make the fillings, you got to grate your palm sugar. This will easily, it looks and feels very hard, but this will easily grate. Your normal grater, you can use that. We do that, and we basically just mix these 3 ingredients, lightly crush this, defrost the coconut, and grate my palm sugar. And we'll do all that now. My jaggery, sorry. And whilst the rice is cooking basically in its own steam. So let's do that now. So I'm going to take my coconut now, I'm going to put it away. We're going to grate this now. Right. I'm going to use our box grater. I'm going to grate this palm sugar. I'm going to get a plate so I don't have to scrape it off. There we go. So you can use a knife to shave it as well. I find this is a lot easier. So I use the bigger size than the smaller one. I use the bigger holes because the larger is easier to grate as well that way. A bit of elbow grease, just out of a bit of pressure, that's all. There we are, that's all nicely done. So I got half a cup of grated coconut here, so I'm just going to defrost it now. So that's half a cup of coconut there. Just a little note, when you're defrosting coconut, especially for the dumpling, just make sure you don't put it out for too long or heat it up too much, because what will happen is once the sugar and once the jaggery and the coconut mixes up, if the heat is too much, this is going to melt and it's going to be all watery, and it's not good when you're trying to make the dumpling. So just make sure it's not just enough, just defrost it. So there's my 3 cardamoms, and I'm going to crush it. That is my cardamoms, lightly crushed or bruised, and I'm going to add my coconut in it. Lovely. Now we're going to give it a good mix now. So I like to use my hands to mix these up, because you really have to rub the sugar or the jaggery into the coconut, and you will see the coconut color changing into this beautiful brown filling. So I'll show you now. Just give it a good mix and just rub it all together. So when you do this, if there's any pieces of the jaggery that's not mixed, just rub it between your thumb and the forefinger. It'll literally just get absorbed. There we are, all done. So we're going to move this filling away a moment, and I'm back to my rice dumpling. Please be careful, make sure it's not hot. Just you can put the spoon in there, just hold this in your hand, and only if it is warm to touch. Do not put your hand if it is hot, okay? Only if you can handle it. I got like asbestos fingers, so sort of a thing, but please be careful. So now we're going to mix this now and make it into a dough. Just gently bring it together. And I don't know if you can see, but this dough is so soft. And I'm not even putting much pressure, it's just coming together really well. The cumin is gonna flavor the rice as we speak, because you can see the cumin lightly staining the rice flour, and that's the goodness going in there. If you don't like cumin, you don't have to add it. It's no problem, okay? It's going to be a bit sticky dough, and I'll show you now what we'll be doing when we make the dumplings. I'm very happy with that. So the dough is ready, the filling is ready. Let's make these. So these are steamed, so if you've got a steamer you can do that. I got a steamer, and we also have a traditional steam, but the traditional steam that I have got is better on a gas stove, which I got electric. So I'm going to show you what I do. So I'm going to leave that there. So I'm going to show you how to make the dumpling. I'm going to show you one example, and then I'll be doing that. It's just repeating. So I'm going to do that one, show you how to make it. So I wash my hands, I'm back in here. Have a bit of water in hand. So you put water in your hands and you basically lubricate your hands with the water. This way the rice flour will not, or the rice dough will not stick to your hands, and you got to patify. Now I'll show you now. So that's my filling there. So basically just take a lemon-sized dough in your hand. Just make sure there's enough water in your hands. Put that there. Just lightly press it, and it should form into this beautiful circle. So just keep pressing towards the edges, and that way you can see that's becoming bigger and bigger. So keep doing that until you make like a little cup. So this is where your fillings go. So that's a filling there. Put as little or as much as you want. So just bring the edges together, and do not worry about what shape it is. It doesn't matter. It's homemade. Just enjoy the goodness. You just give it a good thing like that. Bring it together, and that's your little dumplings ready now. So just make sure all the edges are sealed. Even if there's a little crack, all that's going to happen is a bit of jaggery. It's going to melt down the edges. It doesn't affect the flavour of the dumpling. There we are. So that's ready now. So I'm going to make this, and I'm going to finish the whole dough, making the whole dough like that. Okay, so I'll see you later. So here are the finished ones. So I made them, and now I'm going to cook them. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do them. So basically you're going to steam these for about 10 minutes on medium heat. Make sure the water is boiling hot, and bring it to a good boil, and then you put it, and then you steam it. Okay, so here we go then. So here I have a steaming basket here. So I'm going to cover this up, bring it to a boil. I've added some bit of hot water under. Bring it to a boil. Just make sure that there is a bit of gap, because you don't want the rice balls to be, otherwise if the water comes in contact, it's not going to hold its shape. So I'm going to bring it to a boil and we're going to wait. So I like to cover it up. That way you can save on your fuel as well. So this has come to a boil. Please make sure don't burn your hands now. Reduce the flame, and we're going to put these now. We're going to steam them. So, yeah, back on the flame. Steam it for about 10 to 15 minutes. So it's been 15 minutes now, and I'm going to open this up. We're going to have a look now. Oh, there we are. So our dumplings are ready. I'm going to turn the flame off. But there's a couple of things now, how to know if your dumplings are ready. So first of all, you can see that they've changed their colour. So it had a bit of a different colour to what it is now. So it's turned a bit more pale, and you can see they're a bit more bigger in size now. So they've swollen up a bit small, so they've absorbed the steam. And when you touch, it shouldn't stick to your fingers, see? There we are. So that's my dumplings ready. Please be careful, this is steam. Like I said, I got asbestos fingers, so don't just follow me and just put your hands next to the steam. So let it cool down for 5 minutes. I'm going to take it off from the heat, let it rest for 5 minutes, and we're going to transfer it to a plate and I'll show you. So here we go now. So that's our dumplings ready, and you can see how lovely they are. And I'm going to just open one dumpling and I just want to show you what it looks like in there. So if I were to cut in there, to give me a nice deep thing, and look at that yummy goodness in there. Oh, that lovely jaggery is absorbed, and the rice is absorbed all that flavour, and it's looking absolutely gorgeous. So there we are then. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Do try, and if you like, give us a thumbs up and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.